Say face go candy liquor, let me go and grab a cup. Scuba gear up on my head, cause we punish more than parties. Somebody tell Jersey we getting started, what they call it, yeah? Yeah, 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 yeah. It's party punisher time, yeah, 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 yeah. It's party punishers, Prince I about to give 'em life. Don't switch it down on that tune, cause the party ain't a party unless fife in the room, yeah, 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 yeah. It's party punisher time. What's that? Oh yeah, ooh, we connected, baby. Mouth too reckless, who gon' check us? Though we syndicated, vindicated. Seem like we should've been the made it, been the greatest. Crank the amp, make sure they hit me, I'm about to snap. The general, yeah, that's Prince side. OG face, know he's Southside. Jersey like the Bricks killer. J536 with him. Dude dirty like the kids swimming. Royal flush and we keep shit. Keep winning, bet it up, tryna beat living. Please shut up, cause I'm trying to listen. Party punishers live in 3, 2, 1. DJ do dirty, turn this up. They say face go candy liquor, let me go and grab a cup. Scuba gear up on my head, cause we punish more than parties. Somebody tell Jersey we getting started, what they call it, yeah? Yeah, 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 yeah. It's party punisher time, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's party punishers. Prince I about to give 'em life. Don't switch it down on that tune, cause the party ain't a party unless fife in the room. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's party punisher time.
Party punishers, we in the building, baby! Y'all already know what it is, baby. It's the General, DJ Prince I, live right here on the Party Puncher Show. It's about to go down. And to the right of me,
y'all know what it is, man. OG Face got it, a.k.a. Ram Face to see your mammy, grandmammies, and great-great-great-great-grandmammies pastor. Have mercy.
and to the far left of me. We gotta do it like that.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy. Man, I'm sorry, man. It's your boy, Big Country, aka the Pretty Granddaddy. I don't even know what to say now.
This is what we gotta go through.
What?
And I am your girl, Jersey, even though nobody introduced me.
I was getting ready to get to you. You so fast.
That I am.
That's what they said when she was younger. She was fast.
No, that ain't what they say.
That's what I heard.
Not when you was younger?
Nah.
Right now?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. I told you when I came upstairs.
Now whole grown now.
Skirt out, all her kneecap showing. The whole kneecap, not half of the kneecap.
Oh,
but the whole kneecap.
You ain't seen nothing yet, brother. This her weather right here.
To get hot.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Let me say this. I put it in the group, and I gotta talk about this because I was kind of shook, and I couldn't play double standards. I couldn't do that because it'd be wrong. So I said I'm gonna bring it to the team because nobody ain't say that. Damn, Bella, you got a little plumpy back there. I seen a video. A woman had 2 husbands.
Mm-hmm.
A woman had 2 husbands, but she was bringing the boyfriend to the house to introduce the boyfriend to husband.
Mm-hmm.
And both of the husbands' face was like, so that means she got 3 different men at one time playing with the box.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I couldn't be like, because I had 2 wives and a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. So why is it different?
I didn't say it. I'm calling on my 3 to see what y'all got to say about it.
Hey, each his own. You know, if they cool with it, you know, if they like it, I love it. That's my thing. I ain't got. If some folks, you know, cause everything ain't a 1-car garage. Sometimes you have some multi-car garages.
That's true.
So some houses need more than 1 car. in the parking garage. You feel where I'm coming from?
I got you.
Might be able to do it. Sometimes that first car you might a little bit, tap the gas, crank it. That second car, you can go right on in and fire it up, but it's real pretty and cute, but it ain't got that horsepower. That third one might be like, like a base, just all horsepower.
That's your classic.
Old Mustang, just boom. And it got the power and the shaft just it hit harder. I'm talking about. So sometimes they might need 2 different cars in their garage. Because sometimes they might want to just nice, smooth, mellow car was just pretty when you pull it out, and it's just nice to look at, but it ain't got that to it. And then you got the Old Faithful. Once he crank it, it's gonna go. So that's where you gotta tap the gas and put a little gas in the carburetor. But once it fire up, it's gonna run.
Okay.
But see that third, that was probably what the third one that she brought in. That's the horsepower. That's the horsepower. That's the horsepower that came in.
How you feel about this country?
I love his analogy with that one. That was a pretty good analogy.
That's why I let him go first.
But I'm all I can say is to each his own. That's because that's a lifestyle that's not for everybody, and you have to be mentally and emotionally stable to live that type of lifestyle. It's already, you go through a lot trying to deal with one. So imagine, and I'm gonna speak from a man perspective. Imagine 3 women. That's 3 different personalities times 3. So now you got 9 different personalities to whenever this woman is, whoever she is, times 9. Now by the end of the week, you got 81 personalities.
Yeah. Okay. Jersey, how you feel about it?
Listen, that is not my type of life. But like DJ Country say, the pretty granddaddy, to each his own. And you do have to be emotionally and mentally ready for that type of life. Me, when I shop for a car, I shop for everything that I'm looking for in that one car. So it got to be pretty. It got to be able to go from 0 to 90. You understand? It got to be able to ride smooth
With a deep shaft.
With a deep shaft.
So you just gonna follow behind your brother. Well, no, he ain't your brother.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna follow behind me. Now you picking out a car.
Well, let's say a parking spot. Yeah, because the car got to pull up in the garage. So yeah, I gotta go with the car. That car has to have everything that I need. It has to be an Old Faithful. It has to be a must. It has to be everything in one, because I'm only looking for that one car.
You need that everyday ride.
Yes.
Everyday car you can drive every day.
I don't need nothing else.
But you can run that everyday ride in the ground.
Well, I'm saying that's what tune-ups is for.
Some things can't be tuned up.
I'm telling you one thing though. You said
that's why they got. That's why they got the right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why they got 93.
I wouldn't be munching on that. I tell you that much.
Yeah, because it got to be a lot of Navy people in there.
A lot. but usually when it comes to that situation with women, it's more of a business deal.
Yeah.
When women, do that. And I seen what you were talking about outside, because I seen actually I remember when she had the first husband and introduced the second husband to the first husband. He was a boy. Well, he was a boyfriend at the time. He wasn't a husband. So her story has been getting deep. But that's like with Neo. Neo got what, 4 women now?
4 wives.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, he's happy.
2, right?
Yeah. And everybody's happy.
And all 4 of them happy.
But they signed contracts. They said, and they signed contracts state that they can't deal with anybody else.
Right.
But I mean, that's kind of redundant at the same time.
No,
Well,
they have each other to deal with.
Well, I've been in that relationship type of thing numerous times, where I have sister wives and a couple extra. The extras were called busted babies.
But were they able to say step out of that realm if they chose to? being that you had your other dimensions?
No, because
No, that's what the Busted Babies was for.
No.
The Busted were brought in to entertain them more.
Now, what if they didn't want? What if they needed a male Busted Baby?
No, that's what I'm there for. It's called a balancer.
Okay.
That's why it's levels to this.
Yeah.
Right. There's
Levels
levels
to
to this.
everything.
And you all are correct. You have to be mentally and physically prepared. Because I try to tell everybody, because this one I want to know why you did that to her and not me.
Yep.
So you got to do everything equally.
Yep.
You can't shortchange nobody.
Well, listen, she might take something and you can't take it, so that's why don't
You
be
better
equal.
lay there and
It
holler
ain't
then.
always gonna be equal.
But-
Everything ain't gonna always be equally.
And that's what had to be explained to one.
Okay, because the Bible said there's a head and the feet, and at one time the feet will be the head. It never said that there will be equality in the world. So therefore, nobody will ever be equal. So don't fight for equality, because you will never be equal. You're gonna always be a level of somebody else, whether you show that level or don't show that level. You're gonna always be a level of somebody else. It's like with a job. You know, you might be the boss, but only because you show that you know a little bit more than what I know, but I know more than you. I just don't want to show it.
Of course.
True that.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Thank you, to
yeah.
our sponsor for the day, Sips.
Sips.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And since we're on this conversation, just give y'all the acronym of what SIPS stands for. It's slip in panties. So thank you for SIPS. Thank you to our great sponsor, our mixologist. If you ever need anything, let them know where to reach you at, Miss Mixologist.
If you ever need a sip, I have an Instagram page, Sips Mixology, or you can hit me up on Facebook, Trina Martin, or you can hit up one of these fine fellows and let them know.
Well, I want to say this. I really want to say,
That's it. Kick them.
no.
Oh,
I want to give a big condolences to the family of our fallen sister, Miss Ropey Hill.
Yeah.
definitely.
Love you, Ro P.
Love you, Ro P.
You're gonna be missed.
Very, very missed. And I got to give a big condolences. Me and Face went to someone that was very close to me, and very close to Face. We went to her going away ceremony today. They call her Kim, I call her Rajita. Other people call her the chicken lady.
You needed some chicken, that's where you went. You get them big cases, boy. We threw block parties off of her chicken.
Yeah.
She was the chicken lady. You go and she had the cases for you. What you need?
You talking about like cases of chicken?
Yes,
chicken?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. She was. I ain't never call her real name. I called her Chicken Lady. She saved in my phone still to this day. It's Chicken Lady. Yeah.
Hey, y'all know what's something so funny? I want to ask y'all a question. That he said that was saved in the phone. Somebody from 20 years ago you used to mess with. Do you still know their phone number?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
From 20 years ago?
Yep.
that's my ex-husband.
Yep. But I remember everybody's number from 20 years ago because we didn't have cell phones. So I had to memorize everybody's numbers.
20 years
Not
ago, we
20.
had cell
I
phones.
mean, yeah, we had cell phones.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that though. You know, I kept everything in my head. I still
Well,
keep a lot of numbers in my head.
Now,
Like 8355963. You know, everything I keep in my head.
Look, I
You
wonder
know.
who number that was. He just yelled out.
like
You-
me, I
you
still
know,
remember.
I keep numbers in my head.
I remember my mother's first house phone number.
Yeah,
I still remember all that.
our house
Like
number.
stuff like that. House phone
Yeah.
numbers.
I
I still remember
all
all
my
of them.
grandmothers, but we came up different. And that's why I tell these young kids, y'all need to start memorizing some numbers that you really need. Because if your phone get messed up, and God forbid you got to go over there on 4th and Trade and get one of these things right here, one of them orange jumpsuits, and you can't call nobody buying because you don't know nobody number.
Well, my number been the same for the last
You know.
30 years. Yeah, my number been the same for 30 years.
Yeah, mine been about a dub. Ever since I came home, I've had the same number. I had a homeboy. He went and did
Yeah, mine about
10. And when he came home from doing his fed time, he was like, everybody number to change. Yours still the same.
They ain't going.
Cause he would need to, get picked up, and I picked him up, took him to the halfway house. But he ain't had nowhere, nobody else to reach out to, cause everybody's numbers had changed.
Like I said, my number the same, but if you go down to 4th and Trade, you might can't get through because I got an out-of-state number.
Yeah.
So look, the only way you can call is call collect.
Yeah.
And
But I make sure, I keep a lot of numbers in my head, and then with my old profession, it was best to keep numbers in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not to keep nothing in your telephone. That might incriminate other business partners.
But now they got that text now and what's the WhatsApp and all that other stuff now.
You still get followed.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of that stuff is encrypted though.
Man,
They was
I
trying to
know.
get WhatsApp banned because
but,
they can't get in it.
But I'm gonna tell you this: if it's built, they can get in it.
Yeah.
Cause even though the government say they can't get in it, they gonna get somebody in the bust upside the head. The feds gonna come by it. You want to go home, or you want to stay here? And one of them apps gonna get in wherever they want.
Like the movie Bad Boys. Come on. We all know. Look at Bad Boys.
John Sally.
They always went to go get John Sally.
Yeah.
When they wanted to crack something.
I mean, but we all got somebody like that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
So
Shout out John Zig. He does a lot of my work.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say he a hacker, but he does some great work, some great design work.
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna tell who my hacker is.
No, he ain't. He's not a hacker, but he make when I say man, he's like my MacGyver. I call him my MacGyver. He makes things happen. I don't care what it is. He figure it out. It makes it happen.
That's what I laugh about too. Me and Face always laugh about that. Why do DJs, if you're not on that event, but you be in that club, and they book another DJ, why y'all try to sabotage the sound system or do something to the board? Don't you know the Punishers are the black MacGyvers? We always figure
something out.
You know how many clubs me and Face been to where they done dismantled the whole board? We got a bag for that.
I was just getting ready to say somebody always got extra equipment somewhere around.
We got a bag for that. But this one, we get ready to get serious because I know Face gonna take this over and run with it. So I'm getting ready. I can be quiet. How do y'all feel about the father that ran? I ain't gotta say no more.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna keep a lot of my thoughts to myself because I know, even though these are my thoughts, I know some folks gonna look at him because it's on his platform.
Well, these are the views of the Party Punishers.
These are the views of Face. Well, these ain't even the views of the Party Punishers.
The views of Prince I can say that then. Not of the Connected. Connected ain't got nothing to do with this.
I'm just gonna sit up and say this. I tried to put some money on his books, but you can't put nothing on there right now. So I'm just gonna keep trying. And I'm trying to figure out who his lawyer is so I can try to support, because I know how that is and I know what he's feeling like.
I feel like he don't care. He did exactly what he wanted to do. And my thing is, and I don't mean to cut you off, people have been shooting African-American people, children, down like dogs in the street. So we always say we are not our ancestors. We're not going to take this lying down. And God forbid, and I feel sorry for the person who got ran over. And, prayers to their family. But this man, son, was shot and murdered regardless.
Exactly, sis.
Regardless to what he did not shoot or do anything to anybody for him to lose his life.
Well, we do know he didn't have a gun.
He didn't have a
gun.
We know that much.
But we don't have to have a gun. It's the assumption of the overseer, as Face say, they always have a gun.
Yeah. But the father needed to get off that was mental. So when people get off all the time with emotional distress.
Not us.
No, I'm not saying we do.
Yeah,
but that right there is the biggest emotional distress that a person could have outside of losing a parent.
He stood on business.
Where is this? In Florida?
He stood on business.
Is this in Florida? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, it was in the business capital. That's what I call it, business capital. because he stood on business.
And when they brought him in there, did you see how
Yeah.
the officers was looking at him and how he looked right
Yeah.
back? Like, yo, like
What I didn't like about it is
Allowed his family.
they tried to do the intimidation.
yeah.
And that's why I was so proud of him that he did stand up the way he did. But with intimidation, they brought 300 officers in
Yeah.
and wouldn't allow his family to come in. You know, and it's a viral video of his brother saying, I just wanted my brother to see me.
Yeah.
I just want to see my brother.
Let him know he ain't alone.
You know, and he ain't alone, and I hope he knows that. And I love one of the female officers. She was handling him with compassion. You know, even though she's an officer, she's also of our ethnic group, so she understands. You know, and she shows some empathy. You know, and I really appreciated that young lady.
But you would think people, our people, that wear those blue uniforms or brown uniforms or whatever uniform or gray uniforms, those are troopers, right?
Yeah.
Whatever uniform you wear, you would think our people would have empathy, but sometimes they the worst. They are the worst.
Because they gotta be that one step above.
Please.
You watch Django then?
Yep.
That's to be
You
that
watch
one step above.
Samuel then? Okay. We got a whole bunch who was that? Who was that?
Right.
And folks have realized you can't handle every
Right.
like the certain because
Right.
he allowed everyone to see he's a freak. You know.
Exactly.
And you're like, everybody that's a ninja, y'all can leave.
Right.
Not you.
But this is showing, is really opening your eyes to see who people really are doing with all of this going on, because you can read some of the comments, a lot of stuff that's being put out there. You know, at disagreeing with one of my homies, you know, he was like, well, he got the wrong one, so it don't matter. Well, we've always been the wrong one.
Right.
And it didn't matter.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, I feel if, you know, we share some tears, it's okay for other folks to cry too.
That's right.
You know, it's all right.
Right.
We've been shedding tears for 400 plus years.
That's right.
So it's all right for other people to cry too.
That's right.
Crying builds strength. You know, how you water a plant,
Right.
your tears build strength.
Character.
Yeah.
And my thing is, like you said,
Hold on.
you've
I
always been
have
the
to
wrong one.
take this call. I apologize. This is my CEO.
Okay, but like you said, everybody,
Hello.
we're always the wrong one.
Hey, I'm on my
Yeah.
TV show. Can I call you
Always
back?
the wrong one. In the wrong place at the wrong time. You match the description of said person.
And
But
there you go.
always, that's always it, right?
You
Yeah.
match the description.
Right.
Well, you didn't cry for Jonathan. You didn't cry for Janisha.
No.
You didn't cry for Keith Lamont. You didn't cry for Ernie Kennedy. And that's just ones in Charlotte, and that's only a couple I've named. You know, nobody cried for them.
And nobody ain't gonna cry
They-
but us.
That's right. Because I've always said, and I think I said that on this in one of our earlier shows, until you change the narrative on African American or Black people, this is always going to be the same. In the Constitution, it doesn't even refer to us as people or as human beings.
No,
So therefore, they look at us like animals.
The Bible don't see it. Don't call us that.
No, I said the Constitution.
No, but I'm talking about the Bible don't. So
But-
you gotta. So how much farther can the Constitution be from the Bible when the Bible didn't consider us as being, you know, human beings?
you telling a goddamn
Ooh.
What?
Who?
darn lie.
Well, we would. But as a slave, you're not
No,
considered
no,
a human
you just-
being.
We,
You just
we
going-
weren't slaves in the
you-
Bible.
Huh?
You're just going off that one
Uh-uh.
quote where it tells you slaves be submissive to your masters and all that BS. That's not in the original Bible. That's a mess that King James do. you know, broke down shotgun put in there. You know, James put that in there. You know,
Do you?
some of it, but then it's always been slavery, but it ain't always been us
Right.
that's been enslaved.
That's been
True,
enslaved.
yeah.
And you know, it's
Jesus was a slave. If you read in the Bible,
yeah.
Jesus was a slave.
When?
That nigga wasn't. I mean, he wasn't. He a nigga.
He
Like,
disappeared from 12 to 22. When was he a slave?
he
He
was.
was a slave.
No, I'm
I
asking
I-
questions because I generally don't know. I
I
wasn't
need
saying to be
biblical
funny. I
facts
don't
on that.
I was
know.
about to say Jesus.
Well, I know one thing. We have to be careful of how we read things and how we just break them down, because a lot of things are falsehoods to us. Because I've just found out recently, and I never knew this out of all my years, that it's 88 different versions of the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
If you look at the movie, who was that? Was that Will or Denzel in that movie?
Book of Eli.
Book of Eli.
That's
Denzel.
Denzel, the Book of Eli. And
That's
as
one
they-
book that was taken out of the Bible.
But as they tell you, if you look at that movie, and at the end of the movie it tells you whoever runs the religion runs the country, runs the world.
The
So
Catholic Church.
whoever has that Bible, you know, and that's why they was trying to get to that Bible so much and to print it off, because whomever has possession of that runs the masses.
The folks that's in conclave
Listen.
in conclave right now.
One thing that I have realized in my adult life is when because when people talk about slavery and the brainwashing of African American people, because that's what it was, because they were the majority at that time, but they were so brainwashed they didn't even, it was very few of them and say, hey, let's go. And the other one was like, no, we gotta
had that
with
firepower. See, we got that firepower. They don't get that power.
But even so,
No.
the very few who was saying, come on, let's go, you know,
We
slaves.
had that, and
Right.
then you had some folks that didn't want to run with that, so they got what they had coming to them.
But
See,
listen,
that just didn't get the owners. That got the ones who were going back.
the Uncle
killing
Tom,
people.
right?
Yeah.
He got the snitches too.
So they beat the religion in them, and that's all the slaves had was the religion, was the Bible. And when they were being beaten, they would use Bible verses for that.
Fair.
You understand?
Because you could see that even if you watch Django, you saw that.
Yeah.
He had the book, he had the Bible
Mhm.
with the quotes. He had the
Yeah.
Bible paper stuck all over him.
Like that just doesn't
But
make
you know,
sense. So
but you know, all the religions are based off. If you look at all the religions, they based off the same principle.
true.
So like
Yeah,
you
they
have
are.
slavery in the Bible, you have
Right.
it in the Quran,
Right.
you have
It's
it in
just
the
written
Torah.
different.
Right.
You know, it's everywhere, and all books really are based off the Torah. You know,
So with that all being said, that's why people like, what religion is a right religion? If there's so many versions of the Bible, what is the truth and what's not?
treat people the way you're
I was
supposed
gonna
to
say,
treat.
I just live my life
If,
being
Right.
a person.
if
I,
you read
Do the best you can.
look, I don't know if
Each
it's a heaven
religion.
or a hell, but I'm just gonna live my life to
each
be a good
religion,
person.
Right.
each religion tells you the same thing, really the same principle.
Mm-hmm.
Treat everybody right.
Mm-hmm.
Help out your brother and sister that's down. You know, all religions teach you the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it don't matter if you're Muslim, whatever. You know,
If you what face?
Muslim. You know, 'cause that's the correct name for it is
That is the
Muslim.
Yeah, I know.
You
correct
know,
name.
you say Muslim.
Is the way
You
you
know,
say
but it's
it.
Muslim.
But
But
that
it's however I believe it's one God. We all have different names for him. We some say Yahweh, some say Jah, some say Allah, some say Buddha. You know, different ones, but we all believe in the same thing because we have African American Buddhists. Because we were the first ones in Asia. Why do you think they always say the Asiatic black man? We were the first ones in Asia. You know,
I ain't
Asia
doing
and
that.
Africa was at one time one continent till it split.
That's right.
That's why you have more people in Asia and Africa than any other continent in the world.
Talk to him, face.
Okay.
Talk to them, man. They don't understand. They don't understand. The Punishers are smart too. We act a fool, but we're smart too.
But that's just like people. So many people like me, and I used to get in debates with different brothers of mine when it was like, "How could you be around this devil?" And I'm like, "Who?" But they were talking about Caucasian people. I'm like, you got to understand. You calling them a devil, the worst snake is the black snake. I said, and I left that alone a long time ago because one of the reasons that Malcolm X got kicked out of the Nation of Islam, because when he went to Mecca,
he realized
who real Muslims were, and they were all of all different nationalities.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what? I ain't.
Because you can't sit up and say, "Well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that,"
Yeah.
but you ain't welcome because you this color.
We are all a melting pot of people.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. There's no pure race. There is no pure races.
I'm an alien.
Listen,
See,
there's no pure races.
I'm an alien.
And if you ran with me, and you really know me, you know I keep a couple of them with me.
You're supposed to.
And they on point.
You're supposed to, though.
They on point. Like when I say I got one, E-Rock, I had E-Rock with me. This man dressed like how we put it on. I got Power. I got one named Power. He Polish, so we named him after Ivan Polish Power.
But Sal, we up north, we kept one that because they were the legal ones.
Nah, I keep them because they just if you're a real person,
yeah,
and you straight up with everything, we rock it.
My thing is, it don't matter what color me.
Yeah,
I rock with you. I rock with you.
Yep.
I went through my golf stage when I was beautiful people. Dun, dun,
You play golf?
No, golf. I was a god.
God.
Yeah. So
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Stop. You can't just say that and gonna keep talking like you ain't just say that because I don't.
I had to take a sip on that.
Yeah, man.
Golf has black. Don't they have the black fingernails?
Yeah, black fingernails. And
you
all
had
that.
eyeshadow and all that stuff.
Now, he do the eyeshadow.
Hey, what's his
the black
name?
fingernails and all that.
What's his name? The bat head off.
That was
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I rock with.
I like Ozzy. Ozzy was a beast.
Real.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Ozzy real.
So I rock with him. Yeah, Ozzy still lives.
He's still holding on.
Yeah,
still talking trash too.
He bit off a bad head a couple years ago. That was the last time he done it though. He did a show and he bit it.
That's
off.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Ozzy said, I'm gonna tell you what Ozzy says. Pardon me for cutting you off. Ozzy said, when you own as much stuff as he owned, you can't say what you won't do.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because Ozzy was getting it in, boy.
Acid, everything.
Chocolate Rocket said race was a man-made thing.
It is. Like Faith say all the time.
It ain't man-made, but it's man-made, but it's different races. It was, cause we ain't black, they ain't white.
Caucasus Mountains.
Like Faith put me up on something a long time ago. Faith put me up on something a long time ago. And because I never thought about it coming up. So Faith said, why is everything with us? We got black on black crime. We got black on black this. We don't got no white on white crime. We don't got no yellow on yellow crime.
That's what's called crime.
Right. It's just crime. But with us,
black on black crime is at an uptick, and it's just going up, and blacks are just killing each other more and more. You kill and you rob whatever your environment is. If it ain't around nothing but Negroes all day long, and I'm a robber, who I'm robbing?
Negroes.
If I'm a Caucasian and I'm in the trailer park, it ain't nothing but Caucasians around me, who I'm robbing?
Eminem.
Okay, but you don't hear the white on white crime.
But that goes back to the scare tactics. This is how they was able to get their money and get the funding back in the days from the government because they raised that whole situation. So we had to go be Captain Saver. So we got to take this money and run into the urban, and we gonna build them a little boys and girls club over here. So and take that $30,000 and only put $10,000 in that boys and girls club and take that $20,000 kickback because Uncle Jay ran the construction company. So we had him come in with the construction company. So they made sure they get their money back. No matter how they give it to us, it always get back to them.
Oh, everybody, one of Connected's higher ups, we want to congratulate you from the Party Punishers. Sergio Fitzgerald, he got engaged, and it was real. He did it at a concert.
Yeah,
It was big.
Congratulations.
Oh, 803 Freshman.
803
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah.
He did it there, and you could tell that his fiance ain't know what was going
I
on.
want to be like him when I get his age, man. He is.
Yo,
This is so
Kick, every time I see it, fresh to death,
Yo,
Dabba Dan. I call him Dabba Dan.
life of the party.
yeah.
Speaking of Dabba Dan, you see Dabba Dan shut down the Met Gala.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They couldn't believe what he wore. They was knocked off their feet.
but
But they don't understand Dabba Dan. Dabba Dan had two stores. He had one in New York and one in Newark.
But you know that
He
Harlem
bought out
store.
he bought out that Gucci, that Fendi. He made Louis Vuitton popping.
the MCM.
MCM.
that was
Or
the
name jacket.
that custom.
The custom.
Matter of fact, I think that's when Eric B and Rakim was hit. Eric B and Rakim was hitting it hard.
I had a Fendi suit. And one of my partners. No, I had an MCM suit. I'm lying. I had an MCM suit, and the money that I paid for that, a long time ago, when I was doing, and the money I paid for that, my people was like, "That's a car. I'm gonna get this MCM."
But if you went to him, you either was a star or you was a dope boy.
Yeah.
You didn't go to him. You didn't go to him unless you had a couple of dollars, and then it took a couple of months before you had to pay off. I'm gonna start in January to be ready for December.
Not me.
See, you was different. I didn't have that type of money. I wasn't doing them type of things back then. I was selling beepers and cell phones. Don't laugh. That's not funny.
Hey.
I was selling
It was
beepers
money.
and cell phones.
So
So
a lot of money.
look, everybody. Look, when I tell you, the deal was I would get a beeper and connect it with the company for $27 for a whole year, and I was charging everybody else $90 for a year. So I was making $70 off a beeper.
You was doing the I got the hook up, man.
It was definitely it was legit.
Yeah, but that's how me and them were doing it.
Yeah, but
They weren't legit. They weren't legit. But I was legit. Like I was able to go to Sprint. Sprint was in New Jersey. The headquarters was in New Jersey, and I used to be able to go to Sprint headquarters and buy phones from them at maybe $60-$70 and would sell them for $400 or $500. So I was making a killing on 125th Street. Everybody, damn near, almost everybody in Harlem, between Harlem and the Bronx, had a beeper from me.
Yeah, because Sprint, my ex-wife worked at Sprint, and it was right there by the Meadowlands.
Yeah, as soon as you came across the bridge,
It was right there.
on the left hand side.
It's right there. Because
Look, I still remember I made so much money from
I
Sprint.
remember when we seen the first time I ever seen a two-way pager. I seen Jay-Z on the video. And
Motorola two-way page.
Motorola 2. When we saw it. I asked her, I said, "What's that?" She was like, "We got them in the store." I said, "You got that?" She was like, "That's old. We been had that."
Yep.
I was like, "But why you ain't put me up on it?" She was like, "Because I didn't see no people rocking them." Now, Jake, bring me one home tomorrow.
But them things they used to get you in trouble.
Nah.
Them things used to get you in trouble. The wrong one. That and them Nextels. Them chirps.
Oh no, my church was the joint, boy.
Man,
No, only now,
Church was what's up.
my church was like the church. Only thing would get you in trouble with a church. Now I agree a little bit. If they just come,
start
like,
talking.
when a voice just start talking and running their mouth about,
Yeah, that thing.
I
boy,
love that chirp.
That thing used to get you in trouble.
That
boy.
chirp.
Was
That church was the look. I'm gonna chirp you until 9 o'clock with my free minutes.
See, the kids didn't know nothing about that. That
Exactly.
200
That was
was
after 8 o'clock. The 3 minutes.
Nah, it
Yeah.
started the first time it was 9,
Nine.
and then it started then it went down to 7.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was back Omni Point days.
You pick the phone up, man. Call me back after that. I'm each from the payphone.
Nobody wasn't even texting back then. You wasn't even texting back then.
No.
No, I was texting because I had the two-way.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like on the phone.
On the telephone.
You couldn't text back
on the
then.
Yeah, that right then. Or you could leave the message Remember, leave the
Message
message for the
beeper.
two-way, and it.
Message be proceed.
But you got to think about it. The technology was crazy because one of my homies in the 80s, he had that old big walkie-talkie
The
phone.
phone
Oh,
that they used to
Lord.
take out the car.
The-
You could
the
take out the
set-
car.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a satellite phone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My uncle had one of those, but he was a dope boy. Only dope boys had those.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then he came right back around. Elon Musk got the satellite phone.
Look, the satellite phones in the Maxima. If you had a satellite phone in the Maxima, you was a dope boy.
Nah,
Oh, Mustang too.
not where we
The
was from.
Cadillacs.
When we
You had a
was
Cadillac?
coming up, we had the Cadillacs in the 9.8.
See, that's when, like, when I came out of high school.
We in
Yeah.
different age brackets.
Yeah,
But for us, it was
Yes, I
Cadillacs.
got you about
Mhm.
20.
What? How old?
Now I'm 48. I'll be 48 this year.
Well, I'm 57. You know,
Yeah,
so when we jumped off the porch, like sis said, you had Cadillac or 9.8, you was that dude.
Mhm.
When we went into the 90s,
It was
it was the Jetta
Lexus.
and
Nah.
the Volkswagen.
I had the Volkswagen Fox.
It was the Volkswagens and the
I'm
Jettas.
talking about the dope
because
boys
we used
from
to put-
where-
Well, from where you from, but see us, we had the Jettas. We put rag tops on them and put BBS rims
BBS
on them.
rims and then put the 12s in the trunk.
That's right.
And I had the
where I'm
light up
from,
tape deck.
they went
Before I
from
went to CD, I had the
the
light up
Cadillac
tape deck in my job.
to the Lexus with the BBS, and then they cut the tops off of it and made it a drop top.
But see, we kept rag tops on ours.
my first car was a 78 Delta 88.
My first,
Photo.
my
I
first,
miss my Delta.
my first car, my very first car was a Cutlass Supreme. It was a burgundy Cutlass Supreme with the Vobes on it with a dark gray rag top.
My Volkswagen Fox burgundy.
And then my
As
next
soon as
car,
I hit 18, I turned 18, went down there and got my check. I had broke my neck in a school bus wreck. Went and got my check. Went and got that Volkswagen Fox. Didn't even know how to drive a stick shift. But it was sexy and it was a
And
Volkswagen.
it was your
now
And it was mine.
that was my second car, because an older dude told me, he said, listen, the life that you living, you can't drive this car every day, the Cutlass. So my next car, that's when we learned about hoopties.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got a Colt, a Dodge
Coat.
Stick shift. Dodge Colt stick shift. Now I'm gonna take y'all back. You gotta go. You
Was
probably
it
know.
brown?
You gotta go. No, my coat was it was white, but I painted it navy blue. Now I'm gonna tell you how far we went back. Now the third one I went and got me a Suzuki. Remember the Suzuki Sidekick?
Yep.
Ah,
Remember the Dodge Omnis?
oh yeah.
We also
My brother,
believe
peace and
here to
blessings, had
pray
a-
for the Nichols family because 3 of the officers were acquitted today for the killing of Tyree Nichols. When they
wow.
beat him to death, 3 of the officers were acquitted today. So just keep that family in your prayer because they, the way they done that young man was horrendous.
Mm.
And continue to pray for the Hinton family because they lost 2 during this tragedy. They lost the son and the
And
father.
father.
And that's
Terrible.
that's just crazy. So let's keep praying for them too. Stand on business.
Stand on business. Hey KG, don't connect. Got a rock concert coming up. Oh, well, see, I don't know.
I would. You gotta let me know when you had the rock bands, man,
Oh, Lord.
so I can go in there and
He like stuff like that.
yeah, I can get my mosh pit and all that. Cause
You're too old to do mosh.
Oh, I'll go out there and throw
Break
my
your
balls
back.
and
You gonna
have a
break your
ball
back.
out there.
So you gonna jump on the stage, done?
I ain't jumping in. I'm gonna be already down now.
So you're gonna be the catcher.
I ain't catching nobody.
Don't go in the game.
That's against the law. That don't even sound right.
I'm about to say, well, he
He
may
said,
go
hold
off.
on, wait a minute. Look, I knew it was coming.
Man, I was an avid baseball player. I stopped playing baseball because I had to catch.
Oh man, I know one thing.
You know.
You seen Diddy, man? What was going on with your boy Diddy?
Did he look like me right now?
But he gonna be all right, man. He gonna,
Jury of your peers from that they're pulling.
nah, you can't. Not with him because you got to get jokers who are almost a billionaire.
But they don't. The people that they've actually picked are regular everyday people. Two
Yeah.
ladies were sexually assaulted, and they talking about that they can have a bias. You can't have a bias if you,
you can't have no bias.
Somebody done took your cookies. How you gonna be biased?
but they put them on the jury.
That's like when Joker took a dude booty. How you gonna go up there and be biased? It don't happen.
They setting it up for a mistrial. They setting it up for a mistrial.
Yeah.
That's what they setting it up for.
You see what I'm finna say, Vaughn. Rest in heaven, Vaughn. All is well. Dirk. You know they just went back for his bond hearing.
Yeah.
So it's looking like Dirk gonna be coming home real soon because they don't really have too much on Dirk.
No, they don't got too much on.
That's too much
And I-
hearsay with him.
And I tell a lot of people with Dirk is why they attacked Dirk, because Dirk was trying to bring the two factions of that family back together.
I believe that.
Because it was a split, bring it back together. And he literally was. You know, he did a concert and he put up Falkland soldiers from both sides, from the BDs and the GDs. And he did a big concert and he had everybody up there. And he was trying to bring unity to Chicago, you know, in those factions.
I was gonna say that ain't gonna happen. I don't think
You
that's
know,
gonna happen.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Well,
It has to.
well, before we get up out of
All is
here,
one and one is all.
I want to let y'all know. Come hang out with the Party Punishers tonight, because you know wherever one Party Punisher is, there's always 5 or 6 more coming.
Mhm.
Come hang out with us tonight at Club Visions. It's going down. It's called Sip and Sing. We sip a little bit, we play games, and we sing, and $30 and all you can drink.
$30 holler.
All you can drink.
All you can drink. All you can drink. $30 and all you can drink. And tomorrow night, come hang out with the Party Punishers, because it's called Start of the Weekend, and the whole bar is half full.
Everything.
Sip and
Everything.
sing. And if you drink enough, you might be able to leave with a thing. You know what I'm talking about?
And then we got Friday and Saturday and Sunday, because it's the Punishers out there. It's the Punisher Club.
Come out there and get your fishbowl. I'm
Right.
gonna promote that fishbowl.
Well, with that being said, man,
Jay Hammer, let me start ready.
coming up next is Bella with the views and the news.
And keep these guns down. We have 6 murders in 4 days here in the city, man. Put them guns down, man. RP Tick, you know.
RIP. From the Punishers, we out. Peace.